Welcome back to Immortal Empires. Today we're playing some more Grombrindal, and I think we are dealing with Valkia. Indeed we are. So Valkia with an army up to the north. I remember now. We decided to let her live, which was a mistake, instead of chasing her down. And then she did manage to recruit a full army. So Grombrindal does have his full movement here. We could in fact try and take on Valkia's army, but we don't know what she has. Frund is also down here. Let's leave him to get some replenishment. It might be better to go back to Nagarond actually for replenishment, because we're not really getting much from the Chill Road. So let's take Frund down here. We're getting a tiny bit more. And one of you did say to get some more regiments of renown units, and wow, we literally have every single regiment of renown unit unlocked. So I think we will be doing this. Of course, there's some Iron Drakes here. They have armor-piercing missiles, very nice. There's also a special gyro bomber here. So I do wonder, who should we give some of these to? There's a special grudge thrower as well. It throws goblins, of course, and then you have your typical slayers. Maybe we could fit something in here. We do have one spare. In fact, maybe we could go for the Goblobber here. That could be quite fun. So I will go ahead and get a Goblobber, and I don't know if we have any space. We don't have any space in Grombrindal's army, sadly, at the moment. But it looks like our first turn here is just going to be spent replenishing our units. I don't think we have any buildings to construct. As you can see, the Iron Coast here seems to not have anything. Same as down here. Everything seems to be built. So we have quite a bit of gold. Now, one thing we could do, we basically have a full health army here, minus our Longbeards. If we take a look over here, we do have some quest battles that we could be doing. So, maybe that's what we should look at. So we could get an armor of Glimril scales here, so it gives +8 armor, minus 10% enemy hero action success chance, minus 1 wound recovery time, +6 melee defense is massive, as well as that 10% physical resistance and ward save. We could also go ahead and get his rune axe, so minus 5% upkeep. We're actually doing okay for gold right now. Plus 10% income from post-battle loot. Recruitment cost minus 10%. But he does get plus 10 melee attack, magical attacks, plus 13 armor piercing weapon damage, and an ability which gives plus 50% armor piercing weapon damage. We could get the Cloak of Valkia. Again, enemy hero success chance, minus 10%, minus 5 corruption, plus 6 melee defense, 25% spell resistance, and 5% physical resistance. Or the Rune Helm here for some armor, some physical resistance and leadership. So I think the armor of Glimril scales seems to be the one I want to do here. I think our army here could definitely take that on. So let's actually move out of this settlement, and then we should be able to go and do this quest battle here. It does give us a decisive victory. Of course, I think, are these the only reinforcements that come in? Shouldn't be, right? There should be reinforcements. But let's go ahead and do our first quest battle of the series.
Wazak! You slime-worshipping Ungi filth merchant! Get your ass and that pit reptile over here! I would have words with your little beast face to face, so that I lop off its claw and reclaim what is mine. Those scales are from my armor, and no thief steals from the White Dwarf and lives. You and your followers will die. That is my oath, as my King Grimnir is witness.
So here we go, our first quest battle of our Grombrindal series here. You can see our units moving into position, trying to make use of the landscape here. We have two mountains here that you can't really walk over, so if we can funnel the enemy over here, our Iron Drake unit, as well as all of our crawlers and artillery, should be able to get off a ton of damage. In fact, as we take a look at them, we've got our grudge throwers back here. with our Master Engineer so he can replenish their ammo and buff them. And then we've also got our bolt throwers here, slightly hidden in the trees, as well as all of our crawler units. And then some dwarf warriors, a few of them a bit damaged. And of course the legendary trio, Grombrindal, Philly the Fane, and then our runesmith Zamnil. As we see the enemy lord coming over here on their mount. Our artillery already firing in, trying to get some damage off. The bolt throwers did in fact manage to land a few hits there. Hargoff here. And he should be in range of our crawlers soon. There we go. Look at his health just melt away. I don't think he's getting close to our front lines. He does get a breath attack off though. Wow, dealt a ton of damage to that dwarf warrior unit. Decides to charge in. Our Iron Drakes even joining in the chaos there. And there we go. The Lord already deciding to fully retreat from the battle. Meanwhile, we have some enemy cavalry here taken away from our Iron Drake units, and they're also deciding to retreat as well. Grombrindal deciding to chase them off just in case. As we see now the enemy main force coming into battle. Our crawlers doing a ton of damage. Our grudge throwers also crashing in, and the enemy lord actually dying there in the background. Our bolt thrower managing to get that killing blow. And just look at the damage the crawlers can do as we use our army ability there. Wow, that's quite a bit of damage to that spear unit. And if we just take a look at our army, just look at the arrows coming from the crawlers. The enemy missiles now also returning that fire. Our lords and heroes able to tank that though, as our crawlers shift focus, and just like that the enemy missile unit is wiped from existence. Our runesmith now finally casting a rune of Wrath and Ruin. Plenty of damage there. Grombrindal engaging in the front lines. Philly the Fane as well. Our runesmith also moving up. Of course, our Fane and Grombrindal now both having that Master Rune of Spike, so dealing damage just by being close to the enemy. As we should be able to see their HP there ticking down quite slowly, but a little bit of damage is better than no damage. And our artillery now dealing with this melee unit. The entire enemy really almost just fully gone as they clump up. The artillery comes crashing in. And now our lord and heroes decide to come back to the dwarf warriors to try and draw the enemy in. As you can see, it's not really much of a battle in the distance here. The enemy reinforcements have finally arrived. It seems like a bunch of chaos spawn here. So we will see how we can deal with those. Of course, our ammo is looking okay. Our Master Engineer able to replenish the ammo of our units, as well as buff their accuracy and reload skill, which is all very nice things to have. As we move back towards our front line, a few dead dwarfs here on the field because of that breath attack. Well, as we go in for a little cinematic view, you can see the enemy are no challenge for us. Arrows flying through the air, almost like that scene from 300 there. Not quite, but you get the picture. As some of the enemy decide to return with the chaos spawn and instantly run away. They realize, yeah, no, that's not for us. And this unit of spears is going to try their luck. We'll see how long these guys last. I don't imagine it will be too long here. There we go, they were actually hidden to us, and now that we found a huge wave from our crawlers and artillery, and just like that they are wiped out pretty much, retreating now. We'll see if any of them actually manage to survive, dropping like flies. And now we finally see the chaos spawn have arrived in battle. Our gyrocopters here getting off some early shots, and they're moving off to the side just so we don't get hit by our artillery. We have had that in previous battles. If we take a look at the chaos spawn here, they do have anti-infantry and they are unbreakable, so if they reach our front lines they could actually do quite a bit of damage. But they're kind of just standing here at the moment and taking shots from the artillery, so not really sure what the AI is doing here. But we'll take it as we see the crawlers finally shooting and target them. Yeah, the chaos spawn there essentially wiped out. They do have 2 more units here, and in fact if we look in the background, some more chaos spawn reinforcements have arrived. We've got to be careful here. They could flank around us if we're not too careful. But I think we should be okay. As we look, the enemy Chaos Spawn unit there being wiped out. The spears also now retreating from battle. But not before they're going to take a huge volley of fire. Another Chaos Spawn unit here coming in towards the front lines. But our crawlers now focusing them. The enemy wizard here also deciding to get a bit closer. Our runesmith there, he hit one of the units with his rune of wrath and ruin, but not too many. The enemy wizard casting some magic on us there, dealing damage. Grombrindal just trying to bait him in closer, and there we go. The enemy wizard also deciding to retreat from battle, but not before he takes a wave from our crawlers. So if we zoom out a bit and get an overlook, it's essentially just 4 or 5 units of Chaos Spawn left now. This one as well, they're just hiding in the trees, not really doing much of anything. So not too sure what's going on there. Our gyrocopter's actually trying to engage the ones hiding in the trees now. Because they weren't actually hidden from us, so I don't know if the AI just broke on them, or maybe they just didn't want to attack anymore. But yeah, if we look here, that we are at threat here of the enemy flanking around us. So we do have to be careful with that, as the gyrocopters still engage in these Chaos Spawn, but they're not doing much of anything still. So our forces now moving to reposition, so we're not at a danger of being flanked. The Chaos Spawn in the distance, quite a few of them, but yeah, not really doing anything. Maybe it's because their lord is gone, they just have no direction. And now we can see our crawlers finally moving into position, and our artillery is also moving so they can get shots off on those new reinforcements. As we see Grombrindal breaking off to the left to go and deal with those Chaos Spawn. Shouldn't really be too much of a challenge for him. And just look at the bodies here actually. Just look at that. Horses everywhere. Marauders, spearmen, a lot of dead bodies on the battlefield today. And just behind us, I believe that is Grombrindal engaging in melee. There he is. The Chaos Spawn run right past him. Hard to see there. The corpse almost as big as Grombrindal height-wise. And if we zoom out, the artillery is able to get some shots off. I think that's our bolt throwers there. And now the other Chaos Spawn finally in range of our crawler units. If we zoom out here, it shouldn't be too long before the enemy decide to mass retreat. As we get a little bombing run off there with our gyrocopters. Maybe we will see the second one. Looks like they already cast their second wave of bombs. So Grombrindal tanking the enemy, as well as our Thane and Runesmith. Our Iron Drakes there getting off a wave of fire. Just look at that. Beautiful scenes. So you can see the crawlers shooting in. Maybe we can get another wave from our Iron Drakes. There we go. Beautiful stuff. You love to see it. Our Thane vet tanking the Chaos Spawn and sending him flying. Getting a very nice kill. And we see more of the Iron Drakes. Deadly fire coming over to support Grombrindal. There we go, flying in. Absolute carnage. This Chaos Spawn unit basically dealt with. So is the one in the distance there. It shouldn't be too long before we get that victory. The Iron Drakes casting in another volley of fire. And there we go, that is a victory. The enemy now in full retreat. As we speed this up a bit, there we go, decisive victory. There we go, so a decisive victory, only 32 losses there. Our artillery getting a lot of kills, as well as our crawlers doing extremely well actually. The ranged units in Grombrindal's army having plenty of buffs now. But yeah, it's nice to see we're finally getting in some good damage. But let's get back to the campaign map. Maybe we could even do a second quest battle this turn. So there we have it, 7.7k experience, very nice, and 600 gold of course. Executor loot, always. Haha. Let's get rid of these pesky chaos and beast member. And a new follower. Income from iron mines, gold mines and stone quarries. Plus 8% in the local region. And we gained a new trait. Plus 5% income from post-battle loot. Very nice. And of course, we did complete our quest there to get the armor of Glimril scales. And that does have plus 8 armor, minus 10% to enemy hero action success chance, minus 1 wound recovery time, which is nice, plus 6 melee defense, 10% physical resistance, and 10% ward save is massive. Grombrindal actually gaining a level up as well. Oh, what do we get here? We could keep going down his yellow tree. I think we already got everything in the red tree that we want, right? I believe so, and his blue tree. So yeah, we're just focusing on his combat capability now. Leadership. I don't think we need leadership. Vigor loss reduction for the army could be very nice. Oath gold from buildings. Don't really need leadership or size, maybe. Let's go for obstinacy. Yeah, good pronunciation. We'll go for that.
The dwarfs need me.
And then our master engineer also got a level up here. So we could go for leadership aura size. I don't think we need this. Oh, we have immortality now as well. That's nice. Missile resistance. He's quite small anyways, so I don't think we need that either. Maybe we just get plus 20% missile strength here. There we go. Our Thane also gaining a level up here. Weapon strength, charge bonus, speed. It seems to be the same on all of the lords. Leadership. Weapon strength. There we go. That would be very nice. And then our runesmith. Let's see, what do we get for the runesmith? With let's get another rune of break-in, level up all their runes, why not? There we go. And did I just see that? Did we have a third lord? Oh, we did! We recruited a third lord last episode, Skag. Yes, I remember now. Because Skag here is going to be helping us take on the Dark Elves, helping Frund, and also controlling, just to control there a bit, because there's going to be some rebellions. So Frund and Skag were going to go into, I think this is Hellebront territory here, and Grombrindal was going to go north to deal with Valkia. Speaking of Grombrindal, there we go, it did equip the armor, very nice. Let's actually go into our Thane here. Let's see. Our Thane has no armor equipped. Okay. And no runes, really? Wait, oh, they can't have runes though because it's the enemy, only lords can. We could get another, there you go, let's give our rune lord here, Master Rune of Spite. That's very nice. I think I will give Philly some stuff. Oh, Philly can have runes. Okay, it was just bugging out. In that case, I want the Master Rune of Spite on Philly. There we go. I think they can stack with each other, right? And we could give him some... What's a Helm of Discord? Yeah, because now Grombrindal no longer has that. Let's give that to Philly. Could also give him a Dawnstone. Physical resistance is very nice. There we go. Dragon Helm. We already have Helm of Discord. I don't think there's anything else we can give him. Maybe we could give our Runesmith some armor. Let's give our Runesmith a Dawnstone and a Dragon Helm. There we go. So Grombrindal's army looking very powerful. We could do a second quest battle. This could be the episode of quest battles here. Can we do more one? Yeah, I think we can. So what else should we get here? Upkeep could be nice. Magical attacks there. Melee defense, spell resistance, and physical. We could make him even tankier. Although, yes, okay. So he has 4 armor slots. Yeah, of course. I think we will get the Cloak of Valkia next. Just because it has that melee defense, has that spell resistance, and has that physical resistance. Makes him more tanky. So maybe we can do the other quest battles. Let's just double check his army before we do this. Yeah, the Longbeards are a little damaged, but the rest of our army are fine. So, in fact, let's go ahead and do the quest battle for the Cloak of Valkia here. How much is that costing? 500 gold. We have 29k. 500 gold is nothing. Let's go ahead and teleport here. Oh, it's a vampire battle. Okay. Will there be reinforcements, I wonder? Let's take a quick look at the map. Oh, and it's in the underway. Very nice. Okay, let's go ahead and fight this one.
Our goddess has spoken to me. She who prepares the hearth, who secures our holes. Escobar have been caught sneaking about like ratmen filth, trying to gain access to our mountains unseen. Well, I see you, scum, and by Valkia's cloak, I'll have every last rotten one of you back in that ground, pushing up your tombstones!
So here we go for the second quest battle of this series, and in fact of this turn even, as we see our artillery instantly shoot off into the distance. We've got a very nice formation here in the underway. I think this might also be our first underway battle, as you see our army ability firing off there. You can see our artillery just focusing the vampire lord here, as he's almost dead already. Of course, if we can kill him, then it should be pretty easy to deal with the rest of the army. Our bolt throwers and gyrocopters, as well as our grudge throwers, actually, everything just focusing Leopold here, and the enemy vampire is already dead. So now all we need to do is deal with this massive front line of infantry here. Of course, the vampires do not have any ranged units, which is very nice, so we can set up in a pretty easy formation here. Have our dwarf warriors tank the enemy, as well as our lords and heroes, and then have our crawlers, our iron drake and our artillery just deal with the rest. And as we go around to get a different viewpoint here, you can see we're doing a ton of damage already. The enemy crumbling in places, but one thing I was not expecting in the battle, there we go, 2 Terrorgeists coming in with reinforcements of bats. I definitely wasn't ready for this. They should be able to get a lot of damage done if used correctly. The crawlers do begin to focus them now, or at least some of them. But as you can see, our artillery very vulnerable to an attack from the bats here, and they do go in. The Terrorgeists also getting off a breath attack. So our crawlers and artillery now engaged, so unable to really help the front lines. And over to the right, you can see some Vargeists here coming in. So again, the same thing on both flanks here. Luckily, most of the infantry that started the battle are now crumbling, but we do have quite a bit of trouble on our hands here with the enemy Terrorgeist. One bat unit is almost down. The fell bats here. This Terrorgeist over here is also crumbling, so we did deal with those quite fast. And as you see, this Terrorgeist is pretty much still at full health. The fell bat units also engaging those dwarf warriors. It's okay if they engage with dwarf warriors. They should win that encounter easily. It's the crawlers that are a bit more vulnerable. But let's go in for a cinematic now. A close-up. As you can see, the fell bats all over the dwarf warriors. You would not want to fight those in the distance. The Terrorgeist as well, ripping through our crawlers. In fact, the Terrorgeist just died, which is very nice. The Vargeists, though, compared to our dwarfs, they are giant, as a bolt thrower absolutely destroys that unit. There we go, so we do seem to be dealing with them okay, despite the power of these. And there we go, we see an enemy unit crumble there. So I think it's just these Vargeists remaining. Indeed it is. So it shouldn't be too long before the battle's over. Although there's a very quick bit of panic, the dwarfs dealt with it very swiftly. And now it's just this remaining Vargeist unit. The other one is now actually crumbling in the background. If we can lower the leadership of this one, and in fact, even before that, our crawlers just obliterate them. Wow, a bit of friendly fire as well, just for good measure there with the artillery. So if we fast forward this one a bit, the quest battles take a bit to end. There we go, a decisive victory for us there. Okay, so a decisive victory there. It was looking a bit scary for a moment when those reinforcements came in on the flank. I wasn't expecting them to spawn in so close, but we did manage to hold back the enemy. We didn't lose too many. Again, our artillery doing a great job. Our bolt throwers taking down the enemy lord very fast. And of course, even our iron drakes getting in some good kills there. But let's get back to the campaign map. I think we might have enough to do one more quest battle. We shall see. There we go. So of course we will go ahead and execute and loot the enemy. And we did gain our talisman here. So minus 10% enemy hero success chance, minus 5 corruption local province, plus 6 melee defense, 25% spell resistance, and 5% physical resistance. Very nice there. Completing another quest for the White Dwarf. Grombrindal gaining 2 level ups as well. Very nice. What can we do with this? I don't think we need any of these. We did start going down this red tree here, but wow, 79 melee defense. I think I want to go more down here, so we could give him some hit points. So let's go ahead and do this. This should unlock the next part of this tree. Our Master Engineer also gaining a level up. What's bare essentials? Minus 30 armor, but plus 20 speed and stalk. I'm not sure if I like that, because we might want to send him into melee at some point. Maybe we can give him this missile resistance here, so let's go ahead and do that. Our Thane also gaining a level up. Let's see, let's get another rank in weapon strength. Very nice. And our Runesmith, we're now done with the second tree of runes, so let's maybe... A rune of Oath and Steel doesn't seem bad with the plus 30 armor there, so... I mean, wow, we can get up to plus 60 armor, so let's start leveling that one up. Now, we could go and do another quest battle. Did Grombrindal equip his new armor? He did, there we go. But I think I might let these Longbeard units just get some replenishment this turn, so let's head back into the settlement. Also, let's go to Philly here. Let's give Philly some new armor. So an obsidian lodestone, spell resistance. Let's stick with the Dawnstone here. So maybe our Runesmith here. Our Runesmith already has a Dawnstone too. So maybe we can give this obsidian lodestone here to our Master Engineer. I think the spell resistance will help just in case the enemy spellcasters do target him. So that's Grombrindal done for this turn. Frund over here is still replenishing. Skag is recruiting. We will go ahead and check our diplomacy. Now we can get a non-aggression pact with Reichland. I think I'm going to definitely do this actually. Let's see, their relations. We're just a strategic threat to them at the moment. So let's go ahead and do this.
All you survey are loyal to me, so I advise caution with your next words.
Do we need the gold? We don't really need the gold. I'm not sure if it affects relations or not. We can get the gold, so... But if I don't do this, it's...
Fine.
Let's just do that, because I'm not... it went to -9 anyway. But if we look here now... There we go, so... Plus 15 relation there. That will slowly improve. Hopefully we can get a trade agreement with them eventually. Middenland might start liking us now that we're in a treaty with Reichland. I'm unsure about that one. Wow, the dwarves here. Minus 175, really? Okay. They just don't like us. Right. So I think that's this turn done with. So we head back over here. So let's go ahead to turn 70. Wow, turn 70 already. Let's do it.
I'm not much for words, but I'm pretty nifty with an axe.
Okay, and the drowned vet, Silostra, I think her name is. That's how it's pronounced. Declaring war against us there. So Skag might actually have to march south to deal with them. Okay, Sword of Cain claimed by Slanesh. Another wow fails there. Settlement infected. Our settlement, Cragroth Deep, has been infected with a ghastly plague stemming from the faction of Slaughterhorn tribe. Okay, and Hag Grief also getting a plague there. Ah, are there beastmen in our lands somewhere? Ah, these guys to the south, of course. I forgot about those. Skag might also have to deal with those. Skag has a lot to deal with actually down here. Let's go ahead and recruit some more units. We can now get... Wait. Oh, okay. We can now recruit Iron Drakes down here. Although I don't feel like it's worth it outside of Grombrindal's army, honestly. Maybe we should go for some different type of themed units down here. In fact, if we look at our regiment of renown units, what could we recruit? So that's an iron breaker unit. Hammerers, more hammer. Oh, that's a Longbeards with great weapon unit. We do have some legendary dwarf warriors here. So the warriors of Dragonfire Pass. Do they have anything special or just extra stats? I think the charging defense against large foes is extra actually. So let's see here. We could of course go for a Slayer army, but I think we can actually get a Slayer Lord for that, right? No, but maybe if we do a Slayer army, I would want a melee Lord just so we could go full melee. Could do a gunpowder army. We've already started recruiting crawlers. Tell you what, for now, let's just get 2 grudge throwers. I think artillery is always useful. In fact, no, we do need a front line. Let's go ahead and get some dwarf warriors. And then we could also get this renowned dwarf warrior unit there. There we go. They can lead the force. Friend here has healed. I think nah, if we march here, it's fine. He should still get the replenishment. There we go. The army was still replenished, and then we can take the Great Arena next turn. Maybe it's better to take Grond. Let's just move north a bit, because then I think we'll be in range of this. Now, Grombrindal's army hasn't fully recovered. This Longbeard unit is still at half health. However, I'm going to march Grombrindal north, because we do need to deal with Valkia. So we're going to put Grombrindal there. I don't think we're going to do any quest battles because I'm kind of scared of Valkia at the moment. Now we can do some building. Anything over here? Nope. The Temple of Cain can go up to tier 3. So let's go ahead and do this. And nothing else can be built. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. The Exiles of the Heck kind of liking us. Wait, they like us because we're a strategic threat? Huh? Okay. Interesting choice there. Nothing else that can be done though. So let's go ahead to our next turn here. Foolish vainglory. They say you revel in victory. They say you spend more time erecting monuments to battles past than managing the realm. They say you are a fool. We could get +5 leadership for all armies or recruitment cost minus 25%. We're okay on gold actually. So let's go for the leadership. We'll see who is the fool. There we go. And the wild hunt ceases. Now at last the wild hunt is over and Athel Loren rests once again. The power of Kernus flowed through the wild riders and all who joined the hunt in the forest's name. The pace was furious, the hunt charging along hidden paths and through the usually gentle glades. Any creatures unlucky enough to be caught were shown no mercy, their death serving as a noble sacrifice to Orion's ageless grandeur. So the wild hunt there done, and there will be a rebellion down here in the Obsidian Peaks. I think it's spawning at Clacarondeville, so we might not have to deal with that. And Skag receives plague. Our army, led by Skag Thunderstone, has received a plague from the settlement Hag Grief. Oh. All units suffer attrition and -7 leadership. Really? That sucks. Okay, but we should get replenishment from Hag Grief at least. And another settlement receives the plague there. Okay, that's kind of annoying. We're going to have to definitely take care of those beastmen, I feel. Now, if we go to Frund, we are indeed in range of Grond, so let's go ahead and attack this. Decisive victory there with low casualties, so we will just auto-resolve this and occupy. There we go. The aggression against Hellebront there finally starting. I forgot her name for a second, and Frund gaining a level up. Let's see, what can we give Frund? We could give a Rune of Breaking, or we could give Rune of Negation. Plus 40% damage resistance. It's only for one ally. Same with this one though. Yes, gain the 40% damage resistance seems very powerful, especially if we cast out on our front lines. So next turn we should be able to go south and take the Great Arena, and then we will have the Spiteful Peaks under our control. If we go north to Grombrindal, Dagrek's End is in range.
Be you mindless or foolhardy?
It's not a huge garrison. I'm just a bit scared of Valkia's army. Maybe we can lay it under siege.
Fight!
That might help balance things a little bit. It's actually a Pyrrhic victory here, and we don't lose anyone. Lightning Strike is valiant defeat though. Maybe we just auto-resolve that. Wow. Yeah, we don't lose any units, so let's go ahead and do this. 7.7k experience, very nice. We don't want the settlement, so maybe we just raise it. I do wonder. A new follower there, -3 corruption for the local province, and a new trait, plus 10% attrition when under siege for enemy armies. And Legion of the Ghoul Queen there has been obliterated, so Valkia is no longer a threat. We just have to deal with the Norskans over here. So Grombrindal there gaining a rank. Let's go ahead, let's give him Foe Seeker. And if we go to this tree now, let's up his melee defense even more. Wow, 85 melee defense there. Our Master Engineer also gaining another level up. Let's see what's up here. We could give him more speed. There we go. Philly also gaining a level up here. I think we've got most of the stuff we want, so let's give him some melee attack so he's more likely to land those hits. Then our Runesmith here. Let's go ahead and just keep upgrading Rune of Oafen Steel there. There we go. So Grombrindal has spent his turn. Frund has spent his turn. If we go down to Skag, we're just recruiting down here, right? So we can get Longbeards now. Oh, that's fine. We'll just get Dwarf Warriors. It's fine. Of course, we're going for a Dwarf Warrior theme army here. So that'll be our front line done. And then next turn we can recruit some more units. Now, I saw a build icon somewhere. The Chill Road. There we go. We could build some more economy. Let's do it. Another 200 gold per turn. Why not? And down here, Cragroof Deep. Let's upgrade our exotic animal market. There we go. We have... there's going to be a rebellion down here. That's fine. Skag can come down and deal with that. Let's go ahead and check our diplomacy. There's not too much going on here, is there? We lost relation with them. Unless we started at minus relation. We might have... I think we lose relation actually when we made the deal, right? I'm not too sure how it works actually. I need to look into it in more depth. But let's go ahead to our next turn here.
Your death will be remembered in another of my glorious sagas.
The Tomb Kings won a non-aggression pact for 2.4k gold. I don't think I'm going to do that because I want to have good relations with Reichland for sure. So let's decline that off of it. Oh, so we're going to lose this settlement. Close defeat there. That's fine. Wow, a lot of bloated corpses. We can come south and deal with that army pretty easily, I feel like. So we will auto-resolve that and come south to fight them. So there is a rebellion down here, that's fine. The vampire coast can do that now. Harganeth, this Dark Elf faction has performed a sacrifice to Maflan. Keep your eyes on the seas, a Black Ark will soon be summoned. So that's going to help them in some battles. And the Circle of Destruction settlement lost, that's okay there. And a grudge issued. Capture and occupy the following settlement. Of course, our grudge severity already ridiculously high, even though we only had one grudge before. A crestfallen Grimnir has noticed that the foul undead ransack and occupy a settlement belonging to the ordinary, righteous Dawi folk. The Damaz Kron has a new grudge, see it settled at once. So we will deal with that eventually. And a brutal business. Battle is a blood-soaked affair. Limbs severed, bones exposed. Men left for dead in the crew-soaked fields amongst schools of fallen friends and enemies. Strong weapons forged with time. Sweat and expertise mark the difference between victory and defeat. A good sword cuts clean through bone, severing heads and limbs where lesser weapons will merely maim. As instability grows across the world, so too does man's bloodlust and his desire for war and carnage on an ever grander scale. So, plus 20 base weapon damage for all armies of all factions. That should be good for us. We have our Dwarf warriors, of course, and our Longbeard should benefit from that. Grombrindal, we didn't get any replenishment here. Let's see. So let's move down here, then we can start replenishing before we go and deal with the Norskins up there. Frund can attack this turn. The Great Arena is in range. So let's go and deal with that. Of course, a decisive victory there. Oh, a Charmed Shield, plus 7 melee defense, and an ability. Gives us plus 24 missile block chance and plus 20% damage resistance. That's very nice. Let's go ahead and occupy this one. We will give that to one of our lords here in a moment. Frund actually gaining a level up at the same time. Let's go and get another ranking Rune of Negation. Very nice. Let's see, did anyone automatically get that armor? Frund did. There we go. So we don't have to worry about that. Now we've also captured this. Let's go ahead and get growth. Very nice. And then coming down to Skag. Let's see, what should we recruit for Skag's army? We could just get some more crawlers. I think getting some grudge throwers is important though, so let's get 2 of those. I like having 2 grudge throwers in all of my armies, just to have some artillery. We can build here. So Hart Kaldra can level up to tier 3, so let's go ahead and do that. That seems to be it this turn. What are we waiting here? We're waiting for a population to get to tier 4 here. What about in Hagrief? Yeah, just waiting for population for tier 4. So we can get those upgraded Iron Drakes. And of course, this is the grudge I was speaking about, 100 severity. Of course, we don't have any High Elves to declare war. We do have a Lithanar here, but we're on friendly terms with them. So yeah, let's go ahead and check out diplomacy.
What?
Middenland. Oh, I was going to say they're starting to like us, but we're only getting +1 because of that.
The nation calls.
Treaty with Reichland here. Reichland we're slowly improving with.
There is only...
But yeah, no diplomacy to be had here. So let's go ahead to turn 73. Settlement infected. Shock attack mount. Oof, plagues are spreading quite severely through our lands here. But we did gain a new trait, +1 control for the local province for Skag. Is it Skag or Scrag? Skag, there we go. So that should help a little bit. Grombrindal here. Let's move him into Ashrak, get that extra replenishment going. We do have Frund over here. I haven't seen Krone's army yet, so let's move here. There we go, there's 2 armies, a 4-stack and not much of a stack there. I think we could take out that army. Haganef though is undefended, so we might be able to take that next turn. That would be quite nice. If we go back over to Skag's army, before we come down here again, I want to just recruit some more units, really get a 4-stack. Do we have any heroes we can recruit? Sadly not. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we get some more crawlers in this army. 4 crawlers could be nice. Maybe 2 thunderers as well could be cool. But let's go ahead and get some crawlers. There we go. Oh, we can actually do some research as well. So, I think we're done with this bottom weapon tree, right? Recruitment rank for crawlers and thunderers though. Let's go ahead and get that actually. We may as well. So, Scrag's recruiting. Frund has moved. Grombrindal is replenishing. Now we can build up this province. Let's level up Grondhit to tier 2. Let's actually replace this with a economic building. And I don't think we can build anywhere else. We might have some diplomacy we can do. Yeah, Midland. They're still not really liking us. If we just check through the tabs, yeah, nothing to be had here. So let's go ahead to our next turn. So they do actually march out, and that's apparently a valiant defeat. We outrange them, right, by quite a bit. Yeah, 115 range on those. 125. We have 160, so we don't outrange them by much actually. But again, I think this should be an easy victory, so let's go ahead and fight this one manually. So here we go, our third manual fight of the episode here. You can see we've got a very basic formation setup. Maybe we don't have enough melee units. Looking at this now, it's yeah, we really do not have many units to defend our flanks here. Maybe too many artillery and missile units. But we shall see. Our artillery already firing off on the enemy. Of course, they do have the trees to protect them. The enemy lord already taken a bit of damage though, as we get this viewpoint. Not many artillery shots making it to their front lines. In fact, we decided to change focus to these guys because at least they're not protected by the trees. Our grudge throwers there crashing into their spear unit. Over on this flank, you can see their cavalry now emerging from the trees. Our crawlers did turn and try and get some fire off on them, but as you can see, that's way too many units flanking us for one dwarf warrior unit to deal with. So we will see how that goes. At the moment, they're just staying at range, which is okay. On this side, again, 3 more cavalry units. We really don't have enough units to deal with this. But let's go back over to this flank. Let's get a close-up here. We can see our crawlers shooting over the heads of our dwarf warriors. There we go, getting some kills in. And it looks like the enemy is charging in. Rune of Wrath and Ruin also going off in the background. This enemy here just going right around our dwarf warriors, and it looks like they will in fact engage our artillery. There we go, they're going to engage our artillery, so really we did not have enough units on the flank there. Maybe we could have put our lord back there, but the enemy cavalry already retreating. Dwarf warriors going out to meet these guys in melee as well. On the left flank it's much of the same, just too many units there for one dwarf warrior unit to tie down. And it looks like they're going to charge into the back of our artillery as well. It's not really something we want. Over here though, we can see we are dealing quite a bit of damage to some units already. Iron Drake's firing off there, as well as our crawler units. But because our crawlers have to focus on the flanks, we have less power on the front lines, firepower. And our lord here struggling to deal with 2 of the enemy heroes. Of course, they are melee experts, I believe. Melee specialist, there we go. Our lord is not. So struggling to deal with them, taking a ton of damage already. If we go in for a close-up here, you can see this dwarf warrior unit taking on 2 units of the Dark Elves. As we go in, we see them fighting with courage. Numbers does not fear the dwarves. And the Dark Elves there actually getting their murderous prowess buff. So they will be doing more damage to us now, which is not really what we want. Our Runesmith there buffing himself and deciding to actually retreat. He's very damaged now if we take a look at his health. So not doing too good. So going behind to hide. This cavalry unit also still flanking our artillery. The problem here is the cavalry would retreat, but then just keep coming back with like 2 or 3 models left in their army, or in their unit, sorry. Wasn't too fun to deal with. As we zoom in on this dwarf warrior unit, trying to deal with these Cold One Knights. Not doing too well. Of course, Cold Ones have armor piercing. The dwarves have very good armor, but not so useful when the enemy has armor piercing. Over here, you can see some dwarf warriors as well engaging with the enemy with halberds. So you can see absolute carnage going on here. Plenty of dead Dark Elves and dwarves both littering the battlefield here. And that's actually a Horn of Retreat. as we turn on the UI. I think that might be our unit. Yeah, the cold one's overcoming our dwarf warriors there. And if we just zoom out now, you can see our formation has fully been exploited. There is no formation now, everything is just pure chaos. And there you can see one of the almost dead cavalry units just keep returning. These ones as well. At this point, it really feels like a lost battle. We have an Iron Drake unit with very few models left. Of course, the enemies still have their missile units as well shooting in as we're trying to deal with all of this chaos. We'll see if we can do anything. Our Rune Lord there going in for some close quarters combat. There we go, jumping into the enemy. Although he's low health, he realizes he really needs to do something to turn this battle around. He was really confident he could deal with this battle. And that looks like a Rune of Breath and Ruin then was about to go off. I think he changed his mind, realizing that might cause some friendly fire. But he carries on swinging his enchanted hammer there, or his rune infused hammer, sorry. He's doing okay. But the rest of our army, I think, there we go. Some of them deciding to come back. The leader of the ship of the dwarves not failing, but our lord just died. So that might all change now as we look at the balance of power at the top. Just slowly being filled more and more with the red of our enemies. Of course, their blood, but also just their army now too powerful for us. As we see our artillery unit with no artillery really, they're deciding to flee. In fact, that was our regiment of renown unit too. We just recruited them. The enemy lord still has good health, so there's no chance of really defeating them. And I feel like, yeah, if we look at all of our units just retreating here, it's no longer a case of if we can win this, it's a case of when does our army fully retreat, or when do we lose. And there we go, I think we just got the answer to our question, and it's a Pyrrhic victory for the enemy there, and a valiant defeat for us. So much for that being an easy victory, huh? Oof. Yeah. I don't really know. We just got absolutely destroyed there. I think my formation was very off and just played quite poorly in general there. The cavalry as well, we would make them rout, but then they would always just keep coming back. So looks like maybe we just need a bit more, I'm not sure, maybe we didn't have enough melee units or something. But yeah, so sadly we do lose that battle there. To be honest, looking at my army, I do have 5 artillery pieces, so maybe that's what it could be. We shall see, but back to the campaign map we go. There we go, so a valiant defeat. I think that's the army wiped out. Oh no, it looks like they did survive, and they didn't chase us down fully, so at least we didn't lose all of our units there. We can recruit a new lord for this army. Griswold here does already have some XP, but maybe we should go for something. Ancestral Blood Grimnir. I like this one. +5 melee attack, +5 melee defense, and the 5% physical resistance. So let's get Norgrim into our ranks there. And we still do have a 15 stack, so actually it won't take too long to recover from that battle. So it's not too bad actually, and our WAD does fail. And of course we do get a grudge now to defeat that army. Looked upon in shame by Grimnir, the cheat and Elgi curs have brought low our throng. This defeat must be avenged indeed. And again, now they are raiding us. Witnessed by Valkia, the filthy murder-worshipping Elgi raid our lands. Stop these thin-skinned Wazzocks and settle this grudge. And a imminent rebellion in the Iron Mountains here. That kind of sucks. I think that's because of the plague, right? Yeah, -3 control. And the winds of pain. The world yields to those who master the winds of magic. Great bolts from the heavens scour souls from bodies, whilst raging torrents of fire rend the very flesh from bone. Magic can rip enemies into a dozen pieces or leave nothing but an ugly bloodstain where once they stood. The power granted by the cataclysm many eons ago can be harnessed now to bring ruin and destruction upon our enemies. All of those who feel the pull of magic feel it grow. As the world festers under chaos ruinous gaze, their need to ravage grows stronger and stronger by the hour. So plus 10 Winds of Magic power reserve per turn for all armies of all factions. We don't use magic, so be gone with that foolishness. But sadly, that's all I have time for today. When we're fighting against many manual battles as that, it does eat into the episode time a little, but thankfully not too much, of course. I try to record for 1 hour, and then after that I will record the battles and commentate over them. So it could be up to 2 hours for a video like today, and then of course the same editing. But thank you to everyone who has made it this far in the episode. As always, I appreciate all of the support. We're almost at 100 subs, which is insane. Like, I thought when I started this channel, maybe if a miracle happened we could reach 100 by the end of the year, but yeah, it's been just over 30 days and we're almost there. So thank you everyone who watches the videos. But yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Until then, have a good day and I will see you tomorrow.